My business skyrocketed and actually 10x'd my income the year that I built out my own content team. I went from 300,000 to 3.1 million in 1 year. When it comes to scaling your real estate business, social media is now a non-negotiable. It's where clients are looking for their agents. It's where some of the top agents in the entire continent are getting the majority of their production from. But it can be difficult to manage it all. And genuinely, at this point, you should not be managing it all. There's so many different opportunities to outsource a lot of different activities, as well as hiring your own team in order to make sure that you have somebody there to take care of a lot of this for you. And in this video, what I want to do is break down the 5 steps that you need to take if you want to build out your own content team like I have, and like we've helped many other agents build for themselves. But also I'm going to explain the 5 different areas most go wrong when trying to build out their content team to make sure that you do it the right way the first time. What's up, guys? My name is Mike Sherrard with eXp Realty, and I train thousands of agents every day to scale their business, leveraging modern strategies like social media. And this is near and dear to my heart because I've got videos out there talking about how to leverage social media to get endless clients coming directly to you. And it's one of the best ways to scale your personal brand and attract ideal clients. However, it is time consuming, it can be overwhelming, and my business skyrocketed and actually 10x'd my income the year that I built out my own content team. I went from 300,000 to 3.1 million in 1 year, and a lot of that was due to amplification of my opportunity as well as the content that I was creating. I could create more content, better quality content in a fraction of the time, which allowed me to exponentially scale my personal brand and thus the impact I was making, which directly led to an increase in income. So let's dive into the 5 things you need to do in order to create your own content team. Then I'm going to talk about how you can actually have this taken care of for you and the 5 mistakes that you need to avoid. Okay, so part number 1 is getting clarity on the outcome that you're looking for. Now that means getting clarity on, are you just doing YouTube? Are you just looking to build out a content team to take care of your YouTube channel? Or are you looking to build out a content team that also understands short form like TikTok and Instagram? Are you looking to get a content team that maybe understands how to post organically on Facebook, Google Business Profile, and all these other platforms? Where are you at in your business and what are you looking for? Because getting clarity on what you want is going to allow you to actually build out the proper team. Where I see a lot of agents go wrong is they just try and find some sort of VA or somebody on Fiverr and say, hey, I want to be active on every single platform. Just go figure it out. And that doesn't really work. And that usually ends up leading to disappointment and frustration and wasted time and all kinds of headaches that you don't need to subject yourself. But getting clarity on the output that you're looking for is really important. And it's the foundational element, knowing that you need to have a destination. If you have a starting point, which is where you're at today, but you don't have a destination, how are you going to get there, right? So that is part number 1, getting clarity on what you're actually looking for from a content team. Part number 2 is getting clarity on your budget. There's a multitude of different budgets. You can have a very, very minimal budget, and maybe you need to use something like Fiverr. You could have a medium budget, and I can talk to you about the best place to do that. Or you could have a higher budget, which is getting a full local team to take care of everything for you, but I genuinely don't really recommend that because you don't need it. I don't even have that. I've got an incredible team of people who are all across the world. They honestly do better work than almost anybody that I've seen locally for a fraction of the investment, which is why I get excited to feed them more content because they just do such an incredible job, and we're partners, and I want to be partners for years to come with these incredible individuals that are on my team, and I want you to find the same for your team. Now, part number 3 is going to be committing to a plan. And this is why looking at that destination, it is so important for you to have clarity on how often are you going to be posting, on which platforms are you going to be posting, how long is the videos, when are you going to be recording? Because you could have this beautiful idea to say, well, I want to be active on YouTube. Well, does that mean 1 video a week, 2 videos a week, 3 videos a week? Can you even sustain your plan? When are you going to batch your content and record it? When are you going to take care of all the ideas and the topics and things like that? Like, you need clarity on a plan that you can commit to. All too often, I see people not understanding the concept that consistency trumps intensity. And what happens is people get all excited about social media. I'm sick of cold calling. I'm never door knocking. I'm all in on social media and I'm going to do YouTube or Instagram or TikTok or whatever. And what happens is they say, well, if these people succeeded by doing 2 posts a week, I'm going to go all in and I'm going to do 5 posts a week. Well, do you even have the stamina to do 5 posts a week. And what happens is you do that for 1 week and maybe a second week, but almost every single time I've seen people burn out with the second week, they quit, they give up, and they go on to something else. So you need to commit to a plan that is consistent, that is going to help your business grow, which in my opinion on long form is 2 videos a week, on short form is at least 3 videos a week. And it's way better to increase the frequency or the cadence over time than to decrease it because you got burnt out, stressed, and overwhelmed. Part number 4 is going to be having references for the style of content that you're looking for. Maybe it's mine, maybe it's Suman, maybe it's somebody else I've featured on my YouTube channel, or somebody in your local market, or just somebody that you follow on social media that you really like their content. And it doesn't even have to be realtors. It could be Alex Hermosi or somebody else that you're like, I love that style of content. I want mine to look like that. And if you have the budget, well, you probably can make it look like that. But it's really important because even if you're on a smaller budget, maybe you're doing Fiverr or something else, or what I'm going to explain to you in a minute here, you need to be able to give the individual you're going to be working with for your content team, your VA or whoever, in order to actually give them guidance as to what you're looking for. Because if you try to explain it, they're never going to get it. But if you give them exact examples, now they can look at it and say, okay, now I get it. I'm going to do that for my business as well. Now, after you've got the references all put into place, now it's time to hire. And there's a multitude of different options for hiring the correct content team. The first is going to be VAs. And this is what I genuinely recommend, because Fiverr can be good, but the issue is they're working with a whole slew of people from all different industries with all different preferences, and yours is not really their priority. Everybody is their priority. So you just get tossed into this mixed bag of everybody else, and they don't really care if you're happy, if you're not. They just want to get it done. Whereas if you have your own team of VAs, they are fully bought in, they are full-time, they are all in with you, and they are going to make sure that you're scaling because they want to stay with you and continue to grow their business and get more hours, and thus hopefully over time have an increase in pay. So if you're getting started, I highly recommend on a more modest budget to start to hire VAs, a graphic designer, a video editor, and then a social media manager. Those are the 3 kind of key roles that you need to hire. And then over time, if you need to do more, you can scale. The setup that I have is I've got a graphic designer, a video editor that focuses on long form, a video editor that focuses on short form, and then I've got my executive assistant kind of managing everything. But that's really it. It's lean, it's mean, it's highly effective, and it's a content machine that you can emulate for your own business. But now what I want to do is not just explain the avenue that I do recommend because I've seen it work for so many, but why it's so important to make sure that you do something that's proven and not fall victim to the 5 things I'm about to break down. So what I wanted to explain is I struggled to find the right people. And this is what happens, and I'm going to break this down in more context, but a lot of people know that they need the right VAs and they need the right team behind them, but they spend more time trying to find the VAs and train the VAs than they would to just outsource it or do it themselves. And it becomes hundreds of wasted hours and then wasted money because you hire the wrong people that don't know the right skill sets, and your content is suffering because you're not putting anything out because you don't have the right team. And then it just becomes this overwhelming mess. And that's why we created the Agent Accelerator. And this is where we will actually place you with VAs that are training graphic design, video editing for real estate, project managers that know how to manage every platform so that you don't have to waste all that time finding them, training them, dealing with them. It's already taken care of for you. Because let me explain the 5 things. And if you would like to know more about the Agent Accelerator, which again, we are getting swarmed with people because of the quality of this and the cost effectiveness of the investment into your business, just check the link in the description because again, this is a pretty easy way to just streamline all of it, go straight to what works so you can be on the quickest path and the most effective path to putting out high quality content with a team that is all yours. Now, let me explain where a lot of agents go wrong. The first one is that most people don't have a significant budget, so they need to go to Fiverr or VAs. But in order to get effective results and good results out of Fiverr or VAs, you need to train them. But you're usually in a position where you're still learning social media yourself, so you're trying to find somebody that knows everything about social media and real estate, but you don't. And usually when you get a VA, you have to train them, but you don't know the training, so you can't create it, And now they're lost and you're lost and everybody's lost. And that's where I see people that will get a VA and they're like, okay, well, please make this YouTube video look incredible. And they get it back and they're disappointed. Well, you didn't give them the proper training. The training is everything when it comes to VAs, but it also sucks the most time. The second thing is the amount of time it actually takes to find the right people. I've got VAs in my business, and sometimes those VAs is selected out of 300 different applications. Well, you need to have a 30 to 60 minute call with every single applicant in order to get the right one that's going to be the best fit for you based on their personality, skill set, their goals, their mission, and aligning with your style of business. Well, do you have 300 hours or 150 hours to invest in all of these different interviews? Or should you be putting that time into scaling your business? Because again, we start looking at math, which I've talked about in some of my other YouTube videos. $100 an hour is what you should be using as a barometer. Well, that's thousands of dollars you're losing by trying to find the right VA that might not even have the right training because you need to do the training for them. And that ends up becoming a massive point of frustration for so many people trying to build out their own content team instead of using somebody else like an agency or like the Agent Accelerator to say, hey, I'm going to pay you, but you find the right people, you take care of the training, and you make sure that they just join my business and we can get rocking and rolling day one. Part number 3, another thing that a lot of people get wrong is quality control. And this is one of the biggest points of contention and frustration I see so many people unfortunately dealing with, is that they get content back, they're unhappy, but they don't really have like a reference point or a checklist in order to say, here's what I want it to look like, here's what it should look like, here's a guideline of what you should follow. It's just you hate it. And they're trying to understand you and you're trying to understand them. And oftentimes what you'll see is that thumbnails and social media graphics are not formal graphic work. It's not what a design engineer would look at and say that's beautiful. It's meant to capture attention. It's meant to stand out like a sore thumb, and it's just meant to get clicks and eyeballs, not to look aesthetically gorgeous. So oftentimes you hire a VA that knows graphic work, but they know formal graphic work, and they're trying to do that, and nobody can read it, it doesn't stand out, nobody clicks on it, and then it just leads to frustration. So if you're gonna be hiring a VA, it's really important for you to have quality control checklists to make sure that they don't send you a single video, design, or anything else that does not meet the criteria that you've mapped out as what would be considered great work. Number 4, pain point to avoid is that I see so many people spending more time managing their team than actually putting out content. So you finish recording, you should be able to just toss it off like you would in the Agent Accelerator, send it to the team, they'll get it back to you, everything's done, ready, it's gonna be looking exactly how you're looking for. But where a lot of people struggle with when they build up their own content team is they send it off there to the team, and then they're waiting for it to come back. They're asking when it's going to be done. They're doing constant revisions, and you spend more time micromanaging the team where you could have just been putting in more content or following up with more clients or getting work done. So it's really important to, again, have a workflow in place so that they can follow it. You're all on the same page. You're all well aware of what's happening, and you can just get it done the right way the first time and not spend more time managing them than you're supposed to. Because ultimately, when you hire a content team, the goal is to create leverage of your time, not suck more of your time. And I've seen all too many people go through the effort of finding the right VA, hiring them, training them, but they don't have the right quality control into place. And then ultimately, they're going back and forth with revisions, headaches, frustration, and it even starts to diminish your excitement of putting out content at all. And lastly, number 5 is that it leads to creating more stress instead of leverage. So ultimately, all that I wanted you to understand from this video is the different elements that you need to go through in terms of getting clarity on your goals, your budget, what you're looking to do, what you're looking to get out of that experience of hiring a VA so that you can do it the right way. But there are opportunities where you can either go through some agency to find the right VA, leverage the Agent Accelerator where we will do it for you, or maybe you've already got people that can share a VA with you and get things started. But it's really important to look at the time investment. So many people look at the financial investment and just say, oh, this is only $5 an hour. I'm going to make a ton more money by outsourcing this. Well, that doesn't account for the quality control, the stress of managing them, keeping them in case they leave and now you're screwed, and all of these different elements that you could just have taken care of for you. But creating a content team is incredibly important, and especially in this day and age. If you have any other questions about doing so, drop a comment below and I will gladly answer them. So if you have any other questions, just drop that comment below. Otherwise, please make sure you like this video and smash that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next one.